Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about use of differentiation and integration to solve problems on motion. Before starting this concept, everyone must understand the formula for velocity and acceleration. Velocity is change in position divided by time, whereas acceleration is change in velocity divided by time. Here we can see the meaning of differentiation and integration. These are just mathematical operators which are exactly opposite of each other. As we know that addition and subtraction are exactly opposite operators to each other, and multiplication and division are also exactly opposite to each other. In the same fashion, differentiation and integration are exactly opposite to each other. In this video, we will try to understand the use or purpose of differentiation and integration operators in mathematics. Let us start with an example. If suppose displacement function is given, that is x equal to 60. To find out velocity, we need to find out the different values for x at different times. For example, if you put t equal to 0, you will get x equal to 0. If you put t equal to 1, then you will get x equal to 6, and so on. This particular thing can be represented on xt diagram because this is a straight line. This is the equation of straight line. It will give a straight line in the xt diagram. To find out velocity at different points, we can use this formula, that is change in position divided by time. So here change in position for the first case is 6 and the change in time is 1 second. So ultimately you will get velocity equal to 6. To find out velocity again for second case, we will take these two input points. Here the final position is 18 and initial position is 6. This way you will get again the velocity equal to 6. So you can observe that the equation of straight line is x equal to 60. This is in the form of y equal to mx plus c, where m is slope. That means here slope of the line is 6 and the velocity is equal to 6, that is equal to slope of the line. This is a clear case of uniform motion and it is quite simple to find out velocity. Let us try the same thing for complicated equation. For example, here the displacement function is 0.5 t square. For this, if you put time equal to 0 up to 6 seconds, you will get these different values. For example, if you put x equal to 1, then the output will be equal to 0.5. If you put x equal to 4, that 4 4 is 16 and 16 multiplied by 0.5 will be equal to 8. So if you try to represent this particular thing on the xt diagram, it will not be a straight line because this is not the equation of straight line. So it will be a curve. So to find out average velocity, in this case the velocity is increasing and there you can find out the average velocity for this case. So for first case, you can see the average velocity will be equal to change in position divided by change in time. We are doing the same thing again as we have seen on the previous slide. Here the change in position is 0.5 and change in time is 1. So ultimately average velocity is 0.5. Let us see this for a different case. Here we can see the change in position is 8 minus 4.5. So change in position is 8 minus 4.5 and change in time is again 1 second. So here average velocity is 3.5. If you compare, you will understand that the velocity or average velocity is increasing. That means the instantaneous velocity at every point is increasing, and this is a case of accelerated motion. To find out instantaneous velocity, here we can say that the graph has a curve and the slope at every different point will be different. So it means velocity is changing or the slope of the graph is changing. Here we can observe the slope at different position is different. Here you can observe the slope is less at this point but slope is higher at this point. It means velocity is changing or the slope of the graph is changing. To find out slope of such complicated equations, differentiation is used. Here on xt diagram, slope of the graph will give velocity. For example, here you can see the velocity is always equal to differentiation of the displacement with respect to time. If suppose the x value is t raised to n, then in differentiation we will multiply with the existing power and we will reduce the power by 1. So n is the existing power, we will multiply that power, and that already existing power is reduced by 1. So this way you can perform the differential operation and find out the velocity directly. For example, here you can see the 0.5 t square is the displacement equation. To find out the derivative for this equation or differential for this equation, we can see that the power is multiplied and power is reduced by 1. So existing power is 2. So multiply this power. So 2 multiplied by t raised to 2 minus 1 will be the differentiation. Here you can see 0.5 will be as it is, multiplied by 2, that is the existing power, and multiplied by t raised to 2 minus 1, because we need to reduce the power by 1. If you solve this, you will get 0.5 multiplied by 2 will be equal to 1 and t raised to 2 minus 1 will be equal to t. So ultimately the velocity is equal to t. Here if you are interested to find out the velocity at 1 second, you will put one value in place of t, that is 1 meter per second. If you are interested to find out velocity at 3rd second or instantaneous velocity at 3 seconds, the answer will be equal to 3 meter per second. Remember that the purpose of differentiation is to find out the slope, and slope is changing at every different time. Here one more thing you should remember, that always differentiation is taken at a certain point. So certain point is here 1 second and here it is 3 seconds. Now let us try to understand the use of integration operator. Let us start with a simple example, that is, if suppose velocity is equal to 10 meter per second for any object. For this you can represent this particular velocity equal to 10 meter on VT diagram. Because velocity is constant, there will be a horizontal line. To find out velocity, we know this is the formula. Now we will try to find out the change in position. To find out change in position, in between 4 second and 10 second, we will take these two as input points. So put these values in this above equation, you will get x2 minus x1 will be equal to v into t2 minus t1, and v is 10 meter per second, t2 is 10 and t1 is 4. So you will get 10 6 are 60. So displacement, here I can say that the displacement is nothing but the surface area under this curve. Here we can see this x-axis length is 10 minus 4, that is 6, and height of the graph, that is 10. So 10 6 are 60. It is nothing but the surface area of the VT diagram. If you want to find out displacement from velocity, it should be the surface area under the VT diagram. So this is very simple case. If you try to do this for a complicated case, for example velocity equal to 0.5 t square, that means velocity is not constant now, it is changing. For this kind of graph, it is a curve like this. For this, if suppose we have input values t1 and t2, then we will say that it is a problem of definite integral, because we have the lower limit and upper limit. Here velocity is changing, so it is complicated to find surface area under VT diagram. To find displacement, as we have seen in the previous slide, displacement is nothing but the surface area under the curve, and to find out surface area under this curve is quite complicated. In such cases, integration operator is used. So to use integration operator, we can use this kind of formula, integration of v dt from t1 to t2. So these are the limits which are shown like this, equal to, suppose velocity is given in this format, that is t raised to n. In this case we will do increase power and divide power. For example, in this case existing power is n, so we will first increase the power, so n plus 1, and divide power to the whole term. So n plus 1 will be divided here, and the limits are also indicated, that is from t1 to t2, and this is nothing but the area under the VT diagram. By using integration, you will directly get this particular thing. Let us use this particular equation in this formula, that is 0.5 t square. To find out the integration, we will increase the power and divide the power. So here power is 2, so it is increased by 1, that is 2 plus 1, and now the power is increased, that increased power will be divided to whole term. So 0.5 will remain as it is. This particular function has values from t1 to t2. So that will be represented by replacing this t with the values t2 first and then subtracting it by replacing the t1. So automatically you will get the surface area under this curve from t1 to t2. So here we can say that the integration is the way to find out surface area under the curve, and it is taken over the interval or over the limit from t1 to t2, for example. So in case of indefinite interval, for example, if suppose there are no limiting values provided to you, that is t1 and t2, so t1 and t2 is not there here. So in this case the integration is written in this form. So power is increased by 1 and it is divided to the whole term, plus constant is written, and this constant is called as integral constant. Here you can see the area under it is again the area under Vt diagram. So integration of v dt, here limits are not there, that is why it is known as indefinite integral. Earlier one was the definite integral, this one is the indefinite integral. In case of indefinite integral, this procedure is same, power is increased and power is divided, plus constant will be there. So you have to remember that if the limits are given, then there will be subtraction of two different limits, and if the limits are not given, then constant will be there in the output of the integration. Use of differentiation we can summarize now. If you take the differentiation of the displacement, you will get the velocity, and if you take the integration of the velocity, then you will get the displacement. So this is, you can say, so it is exactly opposite to each other. In the same fashion, if you take the derivative of the velocity with respect to time, you will get the acceleration, and if you take the integration of acceleration with respect to time, you will get the velocity. These two operations are exactly opposite. Here you can find out all the points we have studied up till now. If the displacement is given, then to find out velocity and acceleration you need to take the derivative. If displacement is given, first derivative will give the velocity and second derivative will give the acceleration. Derivative is always taken at a point and it is nothing but the slope of the curve. If suppose acceleration is given, then we need to take the integration of the equation, you will get the velocity. If you take again integration, then you will get the displacement. So it depends on what is given in your statement and what quantity you are going to find out. Integration is the way to find out surface area, and it is taken over the interval of time, and limits are provided, upper limit and lower limit, as we discussed. So you should remember this particular chart, and we will use this chart on every problem while solving the numericals. Let us solve some problems. Two cars P and Q start from a point at the same time in straight line, and their positions are represented by xp is a function of t equal to at plus bt square, and xq is a function of t equal to ft minus t square. At what time do the cars have the same velocity? So in this example we can see that the displacement equations are given. This is the displacement equation for P car and this is the displacement equation for Q car. So at what time do the cars have the same velocity? We need to find out the time t when the velocity is same. That means there is one more condition given, that is velocity is same for both the cars. So this condition can be written as velocity of P equal to velocity of Q. Here displacement is given. To use this condition we will find out the velocity by taking the derivative. So derivative of xp divided by dt and derivative of xq divided by dt is nothing but the velocity of P and Q. So xp value is nothing but at plus bt square, it is written over here, and xq value is nothing but ft minus t square, that is written over here. To find out derivative we multiply with the power and reduce the power. So here power is 1, so 1 is multiplied and reducing power by 1 will give the t raised to 0. So ultimately it becomes a. Here we can see again this term has power 2, So multiplying by power, that becomes 2b, and reducing power becomes 2 minus 1 equal to 1. Output of the differential operation is a plus 2bt. In this case again ft is there, so derivative of ft is again f, because t has derivative equal to 1, minus, in this case the t square will have differential equal to 2t, because we multiply with the power and reduce power. So power is, existing power is 2, so we will multiply with the power, and by reducing power by 1 it will give t. So it is 2t now. Let us solve this. So it is 2t is taken on left side and a is taken on right side. It becomes f minus a and 2bt plus 2t. So if you take out the t common in this case, you will get f minus a divided by 2 into bracket 1 plus b. So this is available in option number D. So option D is correct. In next problem, if the velocity of the particle is v equal to at plus bt square, that means velocity is given where a and b are constants, then the distance travelled by it in between 1 second and 2 seconds. So we need to find out distance, and limits are given, that is 1 second and 2 seconds. We need to find out distance. So this condition, the limits are provided, t equal to 1 second and 2 seconds. To find out displacement or distance, we know that we should take the integration then. So from velocity, if you want to find out displacement, you should take the integration. Velocity is given, so let us take integration on both sides. Integration of v dt equal to integration of 1 to 2. The value of v is at plus bt square, that is kept as it is, multiplied by dt equal to. So in case of integration, what we do? We increase the power and divide power. So power is increased by 1, that is t square, and now the increased power will be divided. So 2 is the increased power, so divide by 2. Here in second term, the power is 2, so increase power by 1, so it becomes t cube, and again divide power, that is divided by 3. The upper limit will be used first and then subtracted by putting lower limit. The limits are given, that is 1 to 2. So putting these two limits and replacing this t, first put the upper limit, that is a into 2 raised to 2 square divided by 2 plus b into 2 raised to 3 divided by 3. Now replace this particular term by putting value 1, plus if you solve this you will get 3a by 2 plus 7b by 3. Next problem, the motion of a particle is described by equation x equal to 8 plus 12t minus t cube, that means displacement is given. Next, where x is in meter and t in seconds, retardation of the particle when its velocity becomes 0 is, retardation is nothing but the negative acceleration. So we need to find out the retardation when the velocity is 0. So we need to find out acceleration actually when the velocity is 0, that is one more condition given. So we will highlight this condition. So in this problem, displacement equation is given and we need to find out the acceleration, and one condition is that velocity is 0. To find out velocity or acceleration from displacement, we need to take the derivative. So let us start with finding the velocity first. So velocity will be equal to dx by dt, and derivative is nothing but multiply power and reduce the power. For any constant term, derivative is 0. So derivative of 12t is 12 and t cube is 3t square. Then this condition we will use here, and this equation will be equal to 0. So after putting this equal to 0, we will find out the time, because only time is unknown here. So 3t square equal to 12 and it gives t equal to 2 seconds. This is the time at which we need to find out the acceleration. But to find out acceleration, we need to again take the derivative of this equation. This is the velocity equation. So acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. Again here 12 minus 3t square, 12 is the constant term, derivative of constant term is 0. minus 3t square. Here t square, derivative of t square is going to be 2t, and it will multiply with 3, it becomes minus 6t. When velocity becomes 0 times t, we will put this value in this equation so that we will get the respective retardation. That means if you put this t equal to 2 seconds here, we will get the retardation equal to minus 12, and the correct option is 12. That is option D. Next problem. A particle moving along x-axis has acceleration f. That means acceleration is given here at the time t, given by f equal to f0 into bracket 1 minus t by t, where f0 and t are constants. So acceleration equation is given. The particle at t equal to 0 has 0 velocity. So one condition is also given. At time t equal to 0, velocity is 0. In the time interval between t equal to 0 and the instant when acceleration is 0, the particle's velocity x, velocity vx is. So we need to find out velocity. In this, acceleration is given to us and we need to find out velocity. That means we need to take the integration for this equation. Let us use this equation or in front of this, and if you put acceleration equal to 0, you will get value for time t. If you solve this, this will become 0, and if you solve this again, this will become minus 1 equal to minus t by t, and this minus will get cancelled and t is equal to t, small t. That means now we have the limiting values for finding velocity. Integration on both sides will give you the velocity. As we know that acceleration, integration of acceleration dt is nothing but the velocity. So taking integration on both sides, and the limiting values are t varies from 0 to t. So this first limit is here and upper limit is here. So t varies from 0 to t, and the expression for this is as it is. In integration, what we do? In integration, we increase the power and divide power. Here integration of 1 will be t minus, so by increasing the power of t, it becomes t square, and dividing by power, it becomes t square by 2. So this is the way you should take the integration. Now the limiting values are 0 to t, and if you put 0, this term will become 0. So let us only put t value, capital T. So by putting capital T, we will get t minus t square by t. So this square will get cancelled from t, and it becomes t minus t by 2. So ultimately the output is f0t minus f0t by 2. So this is 1 f0t minus half f0t, it becomes half f0t. So this option is therein. So this is option C, and C is the correct answer. Next problem. A particle moves a distance x in time t according to equation x equal to t plus 5 brackets raised to minus 1. The acceleration of the particle is proportional to. This means displacement is given, and this means displacement is given, and we need to find out the acceleration for this. So to find out velocity, we need to take the derivative of this, and we need to find out the equation for acceleration. That means we will take 2 times derivative, because if the displacement is given, we need to take the 2 times derivative. So first derivative is this. In this, we will again multiply power and reduce power. So multiplying power is minus 1 into bracket t plus 5, and again reduce the power for this. Again we need to take the derivative for bracketed terms, because there is t, the bracketed terms derivative will be 1. So here multiplying power and reducing power, it becomes minus 2, because minus 1 will become minus 2. Next, this is the equation for velocity. Now to find out acceleration, again we will take the derivative dv by dt is equal to derivative of minus 1 t plus 5 bracket raised to minus 2. Here power is minus 2, multiply power and again reduce power. So by reducing power by 1 it will become minus 3. So here we can see minus 1 multiplied by minus 2 is the power, existing power, multiplied by t plus 5 and again reducing the power, that is it will become minus 3. Because options are given such that it includes either distance square and distance raised to minus 2. Whether acceleration is related to the distance in terms of square? No, because here we can see the power is minus 1 and here is power is minus 3. So if it is relating, it is in the terms of cube, not the square. So these two options are not correct. Now let us verify for the velocity. To equate these equations, I will adjust the power for the acceleration. So here we can see I am multiplying this power by 2 by 2. It will not alter the answer. Now this I will alter these power factors and I will take 2 outside the bracket and put the 3 inside the bracket. This way. Here you can see that 2 is outside the bracket and 3 is inside the bracket. By doing this, now I can compare this equation with velocity equation. This is the velocity and I can replace this particular value here by using the velocity term. So this can be written as velocity raised to 3 by 2. Here you can see these are the two common terms and I will replace this term with the help of velocity. So this becomes minus v raised to 3 by 2. That means the acceleration is directly proportional to the velocity raised to 3 by 2 is the correct answer. Velocity raised to 3 by 2. Here option A is correct answer. Next problem, the acceleration of the particle is increasing linearly with time t as bt. That means acceleration is given, that is equal to bt. The particle starts from origin with an initial velocity v0. The position for initial position is given and initial velocity is also given. So at time t equal to 0, velocity is equal to v0. Here we can see the acceleration is given and finally we need to find out the distance travelled by the particle in time t. To find out distance, we need to take the integration 2 times because integration of acceleration will give the velocity and integration of velocity will give the displacement. So let us start with taking the integration. Here integration on both sides for this equation will give integration of a dt equal to integration of bt dt. So integration of a dt is nothing but velocity and integration of bt, here t is the variable and by taking integration of this it will give t square by 2 because increase power and divide power. So b into t square by 2, because the limiting values are not provided here, we will take this as indefinite integral, and in case of indefinite integral we know that the constant is added. So this is velocity equal to bt square by 2 plus c. Now let us put this condition to find out the constant value c. So at time t equal to 0, velocity equal to v0. So by putting t equal to 0, this term will become 0 and c will become v0. This constant term is equal to v0. So now again we will replace this equation by using this constant term, velocity equal to bt square by 2 plus v0. Now to find out displacement, we know that we need to take the integration again. So integrating on both sides, this will give integration of v dt equal to integration of bt square by 2 plus v0 out of bracket dt. Here integration of v dt is nothing but displacement or distance. Distance equal to, now let us take the integration, increase power and divide power. By increasing power it will become t cube and dividing by power is multiplying by 3. That means bt cube by 6, any constant term derivative will be v0t. Here the correct option is bt cube by 6 plus v0t. So bt cube by 6 plus v0t, C is the correct option. So up till now we have only seen the algebraic terms. So you should remember such formulae to be comfortable with this particular concept, that is use of derivative and integration. If you have any doubts regarding this particular video, you can post it in the comments. I will get back to you. Thank you.